Hello and welcome. And there went my glasses.
Your glasses.
My glasses.
Your hot pink glasses.
Yes. Hi, good morning. Hi.
JP hates us this morning.
Why?
And I even forgot to get coffee.
We came in, I don't know, we didn't plan it, but we came in and we're like,
Like two tornadoes.
Yes.
I also haven't drank my coffee yet this morning. So
Okay.
I didn't sleep great last night.
Why?
JP, why didn't you
JP?
sleep great?
I'll be good in about 10 minutes.
Okay, you need to drink that black coffee fast.
At the next break, I'm going to get coffee.
Shot.
We had a lot to say.
Usually, one of us will come in and be a little less tornado-y.
We were the storm this morning. That's what we were.
Fire.
What do you call them on the other side? Cyclones. Could we be cyclones?
Also, I'm trying to stop myself from doing
I saw you.
and the amount of times I've gone,
I saw you.
I'm actively trying to
The
stop.
grown-up version.
I didn't know that was a thing that
It's kind of cute, though.
I've just always done it my whole life until Allison mentioned it. I didn't know that other people didn't do that.
I didn't just mention it. I roasted you on
Yeah, you did.
On
camera.
air.
In front of the
live.
entire world.
Yeah, but I've never
That's-
seen an adult do this.
That's actually why I couldn't sleep last night. I was staring at my roof thinking about when Allison roasted me in front of the entire.
sorry.
I'm
I
just kidding.
really am.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's so bad. Just keep your mouth shut.
I'm just kidding. It's good.
Well, it's Wednesday. Everyone, what does that mean? Well, here at the right side, it means what the Hale County Wednesday. And there's a lot of news that fits into that category. And so that's what we shall discuss. That's our theme of the day. And what does that mean on What the Hale County Wednesday? Well, we have our usual suspects like the word of the day. We have yammer. We have a montage. We have the Muslim Minute. We have hot flash news. And then we have a guest, JJ Reach. Yeah, we're talking about flock cameras again, but this time from a different perspective. And you are going to want to gird your loins and buckle up for his.
I'm glad I brought my loin girder this morning.
You did. I saw you. Just bring it on in.
What would a loin girder look like?
I couldn't.
It would kind of look like one of those seats that you sat into swinging as a baby. You know how you pop them in the seat
Yeah.
and it's kind of metal, so it sort of holds the kid in. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's not the rubber seats where you fling to the heavens and almost fall
the metal
out.
one that has the
It's
chain.
the baby seat that's got the chain and you pop the kid in there. Well, that's a loin girder.
Well,
And you just like slide into that and pull it up, you know,
I pictured a shoehorn, a giant shoehorn.
or a shoehorn. That's fine too.
Scoop your loins.
first 5 minutes of this. Wait, scoop your loins.
Well, I mean, like that's what a shoehorn does. You just kind of.
First 5 minutes of the show yesterday, we talked about metal nut sacks hanging off the back of a truck, and then today we're talking about loin girders. But that today was my fault, and actually, I think yesterday was my fault too. So I'll just stop.
No, but a shoehorn, you know, a converted baby seat holder. It's kind of round with a metal.
The ones you burn your baby's fanny on.
Yeah, and you're like, are we having fun yet?
Okay. What even?
What?
So loins are the lower part of the back and the sides of the body between the lower ribs and the pelvis.
That's why you need a shoehorn to get your loins girded
It's what you need.
and get your. I guess that's what you put your swords.
Yeah, you
On
put your
your
swords
loins.
there and your scimitars and your machetes. If you're in a certain part of the world,
I don't know why.
With a
Anytime
hatchet.
I think anytime Amy Beth says gird your loins, I think every time at first she does this, and whenever she says it, I brace them. Like, what am I supposed to do?
like bear jumping at you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Whee! It just means that there's a lot of adult conversation, and you got to get prepared for it because this is a place where we tell the truth. Whether we like it or not, we tell the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were
Thank you.
giving us a compliment, talking about that a lot of news talk, people join in. Okay, like Hannity, he can't really carry a show by himself. He has to have guests. Nobody really wants to listen to Hannity. They tune in for the guests. And so he was saying, he was like, people tune in to hear you and Amy Beth and talk about and your commentary. It's like a live stream op-ed. I was like, that's really good. And I said, are you sure it's not that we talk about balls on the back of a truck? He said, oh, I missed today. But see, that's the beauty of this show. You get a little bit of everything.
So,
And I still can't believe you've never seen the terrible balls on the back of a truck.
hold on.
So
I'm
many
so
Google
glad
balls on
that
the back of a truck.
somebody else said the live stream op-ed, because we talked about that yesterday when we were downstairs in our little conference
Yeah.
room, you and me.
I think maybe I made up but that's what he was saying.
I love that.
Yeah. And that was the second person then.
That's crazy,
Mhm.
but it works.
It does. And I don't know. You don't have to agree with us, but you're just getting what you're getting. And I guess there are enough people that come back every day to.
And if you
Listen.
subscribe to the newsletter that went out today, which I am going to read the top blurb, it's called a blurb, and record it. So it's going to go out perhaps for you by the weekend so you can know what we're about. But that's basically, we exist to tell the truth. And in the blurb that I will read for you, so that you will subscribe and you will share what we're doing far and wide, because it is our mission is to tell the truth. And it's not the truth that we love hearing. It's the truth, because we are the mayors of Realville. And in one of the quotes I wrote is from the movie Under Pressure or Pressure. We don't exist to give you the weather you want. We exist to tell you the weather that's here and that's coming. But you got to get to the newsletter to know what I'm talking about. You got to subscribe, because there are great things in the newsletter. But that's why we're here.
How can people subscribe?
Well, Allison, I'm glad you've asked. You need to go to rightside.media.org. That's our website, and it is awesome. And on the website, you can find a link where you can subscribe to the newsletter.
What's in the newsletter?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Things like The Plunge, things like great commentary. For example, this week, we put in there your conversation with Andrew Sorrell from last week about Flock.
Oh,
Yeah. Then we include JP's op-ed, which was really good. Why aren't people voting? And then we have guests on there, a guest list for that week. And then thoughts to kick the whole thing off. And this week was our mission. And so if you want to join the mission, then hop on rightside.media.org. You're already there if you're watching us across some platforms. And then find the newsletter and subscribe. And then share it with everybody. Okay, thank you.
nice.
That was impromptu.
That was good though, because I don't really think we've talked much about the newsletter.
Yeah, we really haven't.
So that's good. JP, we need to clip that. Clip it.
You know what's funny
Clock
is
it.
that maybe we should do this more. But the service we stream on sometimes, or not sometimes, but every day they make AI suggested shorts. And I noticed there's a note that if there's something in the show you specifically want the AI to do, you say clip that. And
No
it'll
way.
do it.
Wait. So like what I just said?
Yeah. it
It'll
should.
clip it.
Yeah. But I just can never think about it in the moment. But yeah, that's a thing.
If you say clock it, does it pick up that?
Same brain.
I don't know if Clock It will do it.
Clip
But
that.
it says suggestion. If there's something mid-show you want us to clip, say clip that.
All right. Well,
I'm still laughing about JP calling us two tornadoes.
clip that.
Some days there is, and I just need to sit back and let the
Let
Dust
it bubble.
settle.
because
Let it bubble.
if I jump in, I'm just gonna get across the room. So
Allison,
sometimes I just need
Well,
here's what I want to know. He did not have his coffee at his usual time. What time did you have your coffee this morning?
Well, okay. It's kind of a long story. Usually I was kind of late to coffee. I woke up and just was wide awake. Did you see I added things to the notes of JP's to do at like 4:30 this morning?
Oh, my heavenly stars.
No. I don't
Okay.
actually.
Yeah. So I woke up at 4, rolled around until probably 5:15 and then went back to sleep. I didn't wake up till 7. That's kind of late.
Oh, wow. Were you Herkle-Durkling?
No, I was dead asleep.
Okay.
And then I went and had coffee. Do y'all drink coffee first thing?
Yes. Well, I drink coffee at 6:00.
That's first thing, are you getting up at 4?
Well, I get up at like 5.
You wait an hour to drink coffee?
Well, I'm not going to drink it without my husband being downstairs.
Ooh.
So I do stuff like feed the dogs, do the laundry, maybe do the dishes I didn't want to do last night.
Make sandwiches.
Yeah, that kind of thing, literally. So
Okay.
I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned it, my coffee schedule got thrown off a little bit because I came in about 15, 20 minutes later than normal today. So I normally get in and first thing I do is coffee. But then today, first thing I did was get ready for the show. And then coffee was done at like 9:50. So I was like, I'll just wait till the show starts so the caffeine can hit me as the show starts. Yeah.
Well, what time did you drink your coffee? Because normally you get up a little earlier.
I do.
And have your coffee by 7, right?
Yeah. I was probably drinking my coffee by 7:15.
And did you
I
drink
left our
it till
paralyzed
8?
cat outside. Oh, I Herkle-Durkled all morning. It was bad. I did not get in the shower, y'all, till 8:35.
Allison!
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I was.
How did you do that?
And I wasn't even late.
And you look super cute.
Yeah, I put my jets on. I girded my loins and I got ready.
You're like, I'm going.
Yeah, no, I looked up. I don't know what I was doing. I was just chilling.
That's hysterical.
8:35 and I left by.
Did you
9,
bring
10?
your coffee with you or you drank it all at home? Then you zip zapped and
I
got
just
ready.
sat outside and talked to the dogs.
Wow,
and
that's
I
a
made
nice
my
morning.
breakfast.
Did they talk back?
Bear uses his eyes.
Yeah, he does.
So he does communicate that
Yeah.
way. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know
Great.
what happened. But I wasn't late. Yesterday I was late. And I
You
woke
were
up way early.
actually early. Like when JP came up the stairs with this expression of delight. I'm like, Allison's here?
This morning?
Yeah. You
She
like
went right in
walked
front of me.
upstairs and you were smiling and had a bright face, but you didn't say anything. And I'm like, Allison's here. Because usually we yell up to JP on our way up the stairs.
No, Amy Beth does. Allison just goes.
Sometimes she yells upstairs.
And then she turns the corner and goes, "Sup, host."
She does. No,
Where
that's true.
Amy Beth comes up the stairs and goes, "Good morning." Yeah, that's
Good morning,
and we
sir.
start our conversation as she's coming up the stairs.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit lighter. Where Allison's like,
I'm
on
already,
purpose.
I'm kind of huffing and puffing. I do have to catch myself.
I just noticed I jiggled the camera when I did that.
Oopsies.
Jiggle.
All right, guys.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I don't need my phone.
What we have a word of the day suggestion. We can do that.
We
first
do?
before the actual word of the day.
Who suggested it?
BC?
Uh-oh.
No, it was Chris from Stare, but I just also noticed Chris from Stare had also just sent in this picture when I was talking about y'all being two tornadoes not wanting to get sucked in.
Can we put that on a t-shirt? Please. Can we put that on a t-shirt? I beg you. I mean, we could just kind of do that like dusty screen print situation. You think Liz could make a t-shirt
That
like
actually
that?
looks kind of fun.
I love it. You know, I always wanted to kind of get up in a tornado just for a second and then
Oh.
God let me back down.
You know,
Like, did you have those thoughts as
Oh,
a child?
no. My one of the items on my current bucket list is seeing a tornado close up, like storm chase out
Talk
west.
to Katie Britt. I
Listen
bet she
to
would say,
me.
don't do it.
And no, out west, because like it's hard in Alabama because of the pine trees. It's hard, but out west where you got the big plains.
Oh
And you
no,
can
I have
see-
a real life family experience going through Moulton. What's up, Lawrence County? On our way to the lake, my father-in-law has just driven the children through McDonald's where they can only get hamburgers because that's all he's going to order. May he be enjoying his heavenly reward. And Emmy looks out the window as a child and said, "Buddy, I think that's a tornado right there."
Was his name Buddy?
His name's Billy, but they called him Buddy. That was his
Okay.
grandpa name. And so now we yell things like from the movie Elf, I hope you find your dad. Hey, buddy.
Oh.
Anyway, he was awesome. But Emmy said, buddy, I think that's a tornado right there. Literally a block away in the field. He was like, And then 25 minutes later, they get to the lake house. And sure enough, it was a tornado. They drove right past a tornado.
Nobody at McDonald's like waved their hands and said,
No.
hey, you should come inside.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't know.
No.
My brother's a meteorologist too, so if he wants to storm chase one day, but I want to go out west, so I could. I don't want to get close. I just want to see it.
I want to see it. I'll go with you. Let's storm chase.
But anywho, sorry. The word of the day suggestion was besmirch or besmirk. This is
besmirch.
Chris
I like it.
Chris from Starrett's suggestion.
Besmirch.
It means to cause harm or damage to the purity, luster, or beauty or something.
Well, that's what tornadoes do.
Besmirk. Well, it says it's spelled besmirch, but pronounced besmirk is what he said.
Is it?
Here, let's share the screen.
Let's have a tomato conversation.
Either
Because
way, I know that's a good word.
I like that word.
How can we use it in a sentence?
Hold on.
Darlene Graham tried to besmirch Ralph Norman's character last night.
Besmirch.
Oh, see, it says besmirch on Merriam.
Besmirch.
Where
I mean, you could say that about any number of political candidates. You could say that while going through divorce, each spouse besmirched the other's character.
Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens have besmirched Charlie Kirk's legacy with their constant conspiracy theories.
That's
good.
really good.
That's good.
But yeah,
That's
that
good.
was Chris from Starrett's suggestion.
Thank you, Chris from Starrett.
Chris from Starrett.
Christopher from Starrett.
I mean, if we want that to be our word of the day, we just
We
clock
didn't
it.
dance though. Should we dance before Gen Z?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
dance before Gen Z. Thanks, Chris.
All right, it's time for the Gen Z word of the day. Three, two, one. Oh, the sweater came off.
That was Abs chasing chickens. She said she's going to chase chickens this afternoon.
I am going to go chase chickens with my granddaughter.
In stilettos?
Yeah, and Emmy's going to film it because my sweet Rosie told me the steps I needed to take to pick up a chicken, but she's going to show me first how to do it.
You'll be exhausted and your hamstrings will hurt.
I wore heels to deliver one of my children, and they didn't believe I was in labor.
Well, you can,
Turns out 1 hour later, I was correct.
you can chase a chicken.
All right. What's the Gen Z word of the day?
Just
Okay,
record it.
y'all-
Seriously.
I will. No, I really. Emmy, we're really recording this. JP.
Y'all are gonna get this one. You've already said it today, but I realized recently we actually haven't done this word. So we'll go a softball that y'all will get, but also we can inform the audience.
I receive it.
This means to notice, point out, or accurately call out hidden truth, behavior, or obvious fact. It also functions like saying spot on, you caught that, or period. What is it?
Clock it.
Clock it. It is frequently paired with a specific hand gesture where the thumb and middle finger tap together.
Okay, so it is the middle finger.
But that is a Gen Z female slang.
Oh, my sweet Molly does it all the time. They don't even say anything. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't. But you know what I did hear last night, and it reminds me of girls and clock it and things. Did y'all see the poll? Well, Fox News actually did a segment on it. The most brutal rush weeks of the United States.
Alabama.
Oh, for sure, right?
No.
What?
Number 5 was Alabama. And then I remember Oklahoma was in there. Maybe Oklahoma was number 2, but Auburn was number 1.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
I have chills.
Wait. For sororities, right? Or
For sororities.
both frats?
Talking about just how it, and I think it's based on like how many girls went through Rush,
There's a ton.
and then how many were cut. Apparently, before any of the girls made it to any of the houses, Auburn had a giant number of girls cut from Rush, just gone. And I mean, I think it's a testament to Auburn. There's the admission and enrollment is way up and girls are wanting to participate, but dang, that makes me sad. And most of it is most of the houses have like a GPA requirement and it's all a numbers game. So people take it personally, but those first few cuts, it's usually just,
and it's hard.
Academics or
it
something.
is so hard when your child is going through it and you have the ups. Look how many houses I got back, because Molly had a great rush week last year. And then it comes down to the final cuts and having to explain to her, it is not personal. Those first ones that maybe your cousins are in or your grandmother and aunt or legacies, still very much GPA or ACT. I mean, it's these girls coming in are incredible. They really are. But it really hurts because of the tears. And then the people who just drop because they're like, I'm going to do that spring rush situation.
COB.
That thing.
Yeah.
But you've been through it. Like I'm just a bystander. My husband went through it, but oh my gosh, it is a whole nother world. And then the rush coaches, did they have that in the article about how much money parents are spending to prep their girls for rush?
It's so stupid. It really is stupid. And it's sad. It's like college in general. I mean, when we were applying to college, JP, I don't know. No, you were right on the cusp. I mean, I think I took the ACT maybe once, never took a prep class, never studied, never bought a workbook. And maybe I took it twice, but so JP took it. Why now do we have to get out, take out loans to take classes for the ACT? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well, I took it 4 times. I started when I was a freshman, and then my high school actually had an ACT class as one of the curriculum options. So I took it to that, and it bumped up my ACT score 6 points.
Yeah. Molly did a prep class, the lady over here at Spain Park, and man, because that was incredible.
It's just knowing how to take the test, because literally every class we would take a practice of, like, one day it was the English, one day it was the math, one day it was but you do so many of the tests and the sample questions that actually when you go to the actual ACT, like there's like a quarter of them of questions you've actually seen before taking the test, because you do every single day. So it helped a lot. But part of it is just knowing how to take a test and not lingering and, okay, I don't know the answer to this. I'll come back, try again, and then go back a third time and just knowing how to take the test itself goes a long way. But
Wouldn't it all stabilize though? It's kind of like getting rid of smartphones. If we all just put our hands in the middle and said, okay, tomorrow we're all going back to flip phones. 1, 2, 3, go. Wouldn't it all stabilize and kind of normalize out if everybody was like, we're stopping the madness?
It is madness.
Just go take the
test.
test.
I believe it would, but think about it. Parents are getting excuses for their kids so that they can have more time and get better scores and get into better schools. For what? What kind of product is the college experience producing now? What kind of person is coming out? Because by the time their Marxist professors get their hand on them, it's very different than what the parents invested in to send.
Well, and I think there's a discussion that's coming on Friday. Y'all need to tune in. We have Trish Crane. You probably know her name. She actually used to work for AL.com. She works for Alabama Daily News now. She's been following education in Alabama. Nobody knows the numbers better, but looking at what's happening in our public schools and what kids are going into college with, I think will be eye-opening as well. Maybe they do need the help.
At this point, yes.
All right, we'll be back with Yammer, the montage, and girded loins. We'll be back.
To the show, sir. Good morning, and how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you guys doing?
We're well.
It's snack time here, so it's good.
I got all these notes up here. I guess I should have pulled my notes down from my office here. Sorry about that. All my secret plans. You guys can't see all those secret plans.
I missed the red strings, like the crazy, where are those? I figured Ernie has the red connect the dots.
Well, I'm actually at Morgan County legislative office, so I had to stop by to do some legislative work. And so it's easier to do that and have a video call with you guys, my 4 kids at home.
Yes.
Okay.
Because when I'm home, it means that I am communal property.
Which is
As
true.
a good parent should be.
Mhm.
As a good
That's right.
parent should be.
Well, then apparently I'm killing it.
So, the talk of the town, and I know it's been around a while, we've had this discussion, but talk to us about flock cameras and your bill, and also educate us a little bit, because for one of the reasons Allison brought up earlier was just that the 4th Amendment's getting trampled on, and people are like, oh, we ruin, we don't take the Constitution seriously in this area, so it's okay. It's no problem. But could you give us a little bit of an education, please?
Well, I will certainly do my best and share from my heart what I believe as a father, husband, and a citizen of this country and of Alabama. The problems that we face in our nation is because we have had too many men in particular who have abandoned principled thinking. And they don't understand the very nature of leadership, is my humble opinion. That probably is a bold and maybe an arrogant thing to say, or sounds that way. But I think that ultimately all problems we face are leadership problems. And so our founding fathers left to us a document. I would say taking on the world superpower at the time probably was tumultuous, probably some concerns for safety, probably some concerns for, I don't know, maybe having soldiers quartered in your home. I read that somewhere, but they thought that our rights were so important that in the face of tremendous danger, they doubled down on safeguarding our freedoms and liberties, because they understood that ultimately the best way to secure freedom and liberty is to make it the right of the most people possible under the blessing of God. And when you do that and people band together, which is why Patrick Henry in his Give Me Liberty, Give Me Death speech said, look, if we've got 2 or 3 millions of people locked together in such a holy cause, we're invincible of any force brought against us. So the 4th Amendment to the Constitution, the right of the people to be secure in their persons. Now, I would suspect that if you had somebody peeking in your blinds, you probably would not feel secure. And the question that should be asked is, does that right to security extend beyond my home? Well, if it doesn't extend to public property that we pay for with our tax dollars, what's even the point of having a Constitution and amendments and liberties and bills of rights? They mean nothing. So if we're going to actually take the Constitution seriously, our state motto, we dare defend our rights. Okay. Or how about Article 1, Section 35 of our state Constitution? The sole object and the only legitimate end of government is to protect the citizen in the enjoyment of life, liberty, and property. And when government becomes abusive of these ends, it is usurpation and oppression. I think we should have I don't really do tattoos, but maybe we should make a law that every legislator has to get one tattoo, and it's Article 1, Section 35, right? So my fundamental job as a legislator isn't to fund education. It's not to fund roads. It's not to do economic development. Do I want good roads? Yeah, I don't want my dad's dentures falling out when he drives over Lawrence County roads. Yeah. Do I want education? Yeah, I don't want kids who can't read, can't think, don't love their country. Do I want to have jobs? Yeah. I mean, like my dad says, I've solved problems with money and without money. I have a preference, right? Money is a really useful tool. But I love the police, love firefighters, but I love our liberties more. And we have to, as a people, get back to thinking principled. If I ask a fellow legislator, what is your fundamental job? What is the one thing you are tasked to do? And you're told things like make roads better, fund education, pass the budgets. There's a fundamental misunderstanding of what my job is. My job as a legislator is our state motto in Article 1, Section 35, or in a nutshell, to defend. When I put my hand up on the word of God and I raise my other hand and I swear, my fundamental job is to be faithful to the oath that I swore. And that was to, under God, protect and defend the United States and Alabama constitutions. That's my job. And if I do any and everything else but that job, I'm a failure and I'm a traitor. Right? So we need to let that diffuse into our souls. America 250, we just celebrated that. They pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor over principle. So do our conversations begin with principle? What does the Constitution say? Right? What does it say? Or is it, well, what do I need for the X, Y, and Z? And that's bass backwards. You have to start with what my sworn duty is to uphold, right? Your husband could pay your bills. He could take out the trash for you. But if he's got him a little side chick and beats the mess out of you, you're probably going to say you're felon. Like your priorities are out of.
Hello and welcome back. How are you? I hope you're well. We're glad it's Wednesday.
That was kind of creepy.
You know, I felt like that was creepy, like a
How are
horror show
you?
creepy. I didn't mean it.
I hope you're well.
I'm Amy Beth. She's Allison. He's JP. Before the show, we were talking about our workouts for the week with Bobby. I worked out Monday and I'm wearing my bracelet. I'm going to figure out how to beautify. But are you taking supplements that you like right now?
Well, I've had to go, y'all. I did creatine. Okay, I need audience participation here. Okay, I did creatine, just 5 grams or milligrams. I can't remember what it was. Okay, I didn't do the front loading where you like do 20 the first few weeks, whatever. I kept looking in the mirror and going, I look like JD Vance in that meme. It made me so puffy. Face, body, everything was puffy. So I went off of it like a month ago. Apparently there's a creatine, like a HCl that you can use that isn't supposed to make you puffy, but I'm really scared. But creatine is supposed to be good for our menopausal selves and our brains.
Yes.
But I can't bring myself to do it.
Okay. Chris found 3 of them for us.
3? You have
So
to take them all together?
No,
Oh.
but he found 3 options that won't do that. And I'll find the lab, but he has a list because we're trying to run out of the rest of the creatine that we have before we get more, because we're really bad to go, oh, let's try this one next. But we love supplements here.
Okay.
But I have found that there are 3, and one of them is one of the girls you and I follow, and she loves it because it's high quality, low puff, low, like really affecting your system, and it's a gummy.
Well, you know, creatine is actually as much of a nootropic as much as physical muscle, like
Really?
cognitive.
I feel better when I remember to take it on the days that I worked out, because I'm trying to work into incorporating it every day, but I'm really holding out for the gummy. I can tell a difference.
Yeah. Well, it keeps the water in your muscles, but it also keeps the water and retains water in your brain, which makes it.
It makes your brain smarter.
That makes sense.
Which also is why guys who cut weight for fights get knocked out easier, because they don't have the hydration in their brain. So like you don't think about it with your brain, you need to retain the water, but but creatine helps with that a lot. I've never taken it. Maybe I should.
You should take it, but I think you can take more. Chris is like, no, you can take more. I'm like, I am sticking with 5 milligrams.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a natural puffer.
I don't think you are.
Look, same.
I need,
Anything I take, it's going to go the reverse of what people say.
but will you send me
I will.
the things,
Yeah.
the suggestions?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could use some help.
Okay.
Yama.
Yeah.
Rama yama.
This time for
Mama Lord.
Yammer. My first whistle wasn't very good.
I can't whistle. That was good.
Sounds like us coming in this morning.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Can you play my clips?
Yes.
I want to get y'all's thoughts because there's some hate online for this.
What?
No, there's not. Hey, I know why, but yeah, we'll play the video.
But why?
I'll explain it to you. The main reason why is because Alabama and Saban have done this for years, and this is Auburn's first time doing it. So, like, the Bammers, like myself, think that y'all are copycatting us. I think that's the main reason. But here's the tweet. I don't know if you want to read it before playing the video.
Well, let me just say, I was not a huge fan of the Golish hire. I didn't like Brian Harsin. I didn't like Hugh Freeze as a hire. Maybe a great person. Maybe I'm just black-pilled or bitter. But it's things like this that kind of string me along. And I kind of waffle back and forth on the staycation at the Grand Robert Trent Jones. What's it called? The Marriott
the Grand National.
Grand National.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it worked. But I like this. That band, Auburn's band, is so freaking good.
Yes.
So freaking good. You ever
I didn't even catch that. You did.
And they always show up and they always give their best, and they really kind of get ignored. So I appreciated this.
Hats off by Paul. All right, guys, hey.
Hello.
Hats off by Paul. All right, guys, hey, so glad to be here. Like I said, 20 years. First time I've been asked to come over and engage with you guys like that. So hats off. I applaud Coach Golis and the staff for wanting us all to be on the same page. It doesn't matter game time. It doesn't matter opponent. It doesn't matter weather. It doesn't matter whether it's the first minute or the last minute. We're always the same for you guys. We call that in our team room, we call that being thermostats. So we don't want to be a thermometer. We want to be a thermostat where we set the temperature for what we do.
Love it.
So fun. So they brought him in, taught the team the fight song, and be a thermostat. I like it. I ship it.
I'm gonna
Clock it and clip it.
I am gonna write that down for next week's newsletter. The thermostat.
That
love
was
that.
One of my high school coach's favorite sayings.
I didn't send this to you, JP. First of all, War Eagle.
You need to.
Okay, I
I'm
love
sending it
that.
right now.
Can you send that? We need to see this. So this story caught probably your eye as well on Twitter. And I don't use this word often. This is depraved. This is lunacy. And it's here. But libs of TikTok, and I'm seeing it on Not the Bee, but I saw it on Twitter. This is a real post by the Maine State, Maine, M-A-I-N-E, that place that we don't want to live, State Breastfeeding Coalition, celebrating trans lactation and two-spirit and chest feeding. You will live to see man-made horrors behind your comprehension. That's the lips of TikTok. So in Maine, this is what they're saying. Oh, for the love. National Breastfeeding Month is for every family. We're proud to celebrate and uplift trans lactation, chest feeding, and two-spirit families during National Breastfeeding Month. Every family deserves affirming, respectful, and evidence-based care, which is so funny because none of this is evidence-based. And you even said breastfeeding, and that's the only place you can feed babies. But I digress. Creating inclusive spaces means recognizing that parents use different words to describe their feeding journeys and honoring each person's identity and lived experience. When healthcare communities and support systems are inclusive, families are better able to meet their feeding goals and feel empowered along the way. Hi. No one cares about empowering anybody. We want you to just feed your baby. And the only people who can feed babies are moms. But in Maine, they've attached some psycho-looking breast pumps to a dude who can't actually feed the baby.
But I think
that's a woman. This is
right.
A trans woman who has a beard. I've seen it as men and women, but you're right. This one is a woman pretending to be a man attached up to chesticle feeders. Like this is Molech in the room when they did this, when they AI'd this picture. This is insane.
You know,
And Maine is celebrating the depravity, the lunacy, the delusion. What in the world, when all we're trying to do is just feed our babies? You do not deserve the babies. They should not live in this environment. There, I said it. That's an unpopular opinion. Clock it.
You know what's crazy is that the same state of Maine will celebrate this also has a Muslim commission where Muslims will throw these people off of buildings.
That's funny. I wonder if the Maine breastfeeds will align with the Muslim Coalition Committee, whatever they are. Maybe they can come together for something. Like, I'm not going to say that.
Do you think she had? I guess she had to have the baby.
Yep.
She had the baby. Okay. Well, I had to look up. If you look in the back, it says Two-Spirit Pride.
What is that?
Do y'all know what I had to Google's it.
What is Two-Spirit Pride?
Yeah, that's actually a great question.
Do you
yeah.
have any guesses?
I only do because Phil and I spent time talking about it one day. But before that, I had no idea.
What is it?
If you look at her, it kind of makes sense. Like look at the feathers and her skin color. Two-Spirit is a term used by some indigenous peoples of North America for people whose gender, social roles, or spiritual identity encompasses both masculine and feminine aspects. Two-Spirit is an indigenous specific term. So we can't be Two-Spirit.
We can't be?
No.
Why?
That's what is it called? Appropriations?
That's
What's it called when you
Oh, it is appropriation.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like black people can't have blonde hair?
No, obviously I
Or-
can't.
White people can't have curly hair?
No, you can't.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. Not every indigenous LGBTQ
Oh, that was good. That was
person
really good.
identifies as Two-Spirit. I don't know. This is retarded.
It is retarded.
Don't know how else to say it. I think Steve Dace would say retarded.
I mean, and Ernie
Don't
Yarbrough
put
yesterday,
that in,
bass backwards.
Yes.
What in the ever-loving world can you imagine the oppression that child will face growing up so confused? Why can this lady who's pretending to be a dude be my mother and father? What? And whoever else is in the household? This is...
I think they live in like Portland. Doesn't that look kind of with the beanie and the flannel and the
Well, they say
sweatpants?
it's Maine, but it looks like Portland.
Yeah, well, that Two-Spirit.
And I bet they also, because they're spirit, they float back and forth between Portland and Maine. Like I know Portland is in
When you
Maine,
get
but
that
Portland,
far up,
Oregon.
yeah, I think that,
The mountain peaks suggest Portland, Oregon.
yeah.
But then these suggest maybe some trees in Maine. I have no idea. Milk doesn't make families. Okay. In case you didn't know, milk doesn't make families. There's only one way that families get made. Milk produces to feed. What is the result of that? It doesn't make families.
Thanks, Abs.
Welcome.
Is my
This
turn?
is for What the Hell County Wednesday. Yes, sir.
This isn't a big story, but I was curious what y'all thought about this. I saw this on Yellowhammer that Barrymore wants to name the new I-10 bridge after Donald Trump in Mobile.
Oh, sure he does.
Gateway to the Gulf of America. Says Representative Barrymore wants a new bridge set to be built in Alabama named after the current president of the United States. Quote, the new Mobile River Bridge will be a game changer for Mobile and the entire Gulf Coast. The gateway to the Gulf of America to the Donald J. Trump Bridge would be a fitting name for a project that reflects Alabama's growth and our role in America's future.
Okay. What do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not against the idea, but it just kind of seems, I don't know. It seems like going out of the way to Like he's already won his election.
Yeah, but the only thing I can speak to and say this a little bit makes sense. If you remember, Barry Moore was the first member of Congress to endorse Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's first stop was in Mobile, that rally they did. So maybe it kind of makes sense that way.
Yeah. I can see that.
I just thought it was interesting.
I do like
lips
the
were crashing
Gateway
on.
to the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
I do think that's a great name. So
Okay, go ready for it. What?
Montage.
Oh yeah, the montage.
The montage.
montage.
This man that you see here is David Morens, and he was a senior advisor to Dr. Anthony Fauci at the NIAID, and he just pleaded guilty to conspiring to defraud the United States of America. Because throughout COVID, this guy was moving government business to his personal Gmail, so it would be harder to find through FOIA.
Down in Florida last night, establishment Democrats had a big loss. Angie Nixon upsetting Alex Vindman. You remember him from the impeachment trials against President Trump. So it's kind of a sweet little turn there.
Because of your sweat, because of your hard work, we have won a massive victory.
50 million people in South Carolina. Half of them live paycheck to paycheck.
And let me just indulge my theory, which I can't control myself from talking about.
Run, baby.
You've heard it before, but I think nuclear weapons, which I don't think were created by people. Sorry. I don't care how many movies they make about it. I don't believe that.
You didn't see Oppenheimer?
Yeah, okay. Wouldn't watch that crap. Wouldn't let that into my head for 1 second. But anyway, because it's all lies. But anyway, sorry, now I'm getting really crazy, but it's all true. What I'm saying is true.
Okay.
Why is he still red?
He's so red.
Maybe he's just out fly fishing.
If humans didn't build the atomic bomb, which both my grandparents worked at
Oak Ridge.
My grandmother was a bookkeeper. My grandfather was an engineer. I mean, they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what the project was, but they knew they were working. Oak Ridge. They built the atomic bomb, but if it wasn't my grandparents, who built it? Aliens?
Aliens.
Demons. Okay.
I bet your grandparents didn't know they were demons.
No, it's like Men in Black.
Yeah, they didn't know. They kind of clicked things in front of their eyeballs and
I'm trying to remember. I think he kind of went into his theory one time, and I could be wrong, but I believe it was that aliens are actually demons, and they came in the 1940s and gave us the nuclear bomb technology, or the idea, I guess, and to help us wipe out civilization, and that nuclear weapons are inherently demonic because of how it was brought to us. I think that's the crux of his belief. I don't know. That was more of a Clown World clip, I guess, but it's just a little glimpse into Tucker's. I don't know. It makes me sad because Tucker was like my conservative hero, but it makes me sad because, before his ideas, even if they weren't, even if he didn't fully believe them, just generally, at least they were interesting. And it's like, okay, well, maybe, and he would hit the mark a lot of times too. But even when you didn't believe what he said, at least his ideas were based in intellect and logic and sincere and thought out. And now whenever you see demons created the nuclear bomb, Trump may be the Antichrist, Israel owns the United States, and Trump is a slave to Israel and you're just like, what do we, it's not even, you can't even entertain it anymore because it's just that far off the trail. Mm-hmm. It's sad, but
I have a hard time with his conspiracies and the second half of Candace Owens' career, because if you throw everything onto somebody else did it, they're a patsy, or demons did it, or whatever, and yet claim the name of Christ as they both do, then what they're ignoring is what the Bible says is true. And that's the lens through which we view everything. That the human heart is deceptively wicked above all else. And neither of them can ascribe evil and wickedness to man. They want it to be something else. And then, of course, they want to come in and fix it or elaborate on it or whatever. But I've noticed lately, neither of them can grapple with the fact of human depravity or the fact of human wickedness. They'll say things are wicked, but they don't acknowledge that Tyler Robinson, say what you want about all the background, was evil and wicked. Or that people that we know were involved at Oak Ridge, they were doing their job. They had no idea what was going on, but they can't hold on to the idea that we are wicked apart from Christ. And if they don't acknowledge the human depravity, then they don't actually have to need any sort of salvation. And I find that to be an interesting conundrum that both of them are in.
I feel like demons took over Tucker Carlson's body and brain, because where has all this been for the past 20 years? And why now?
I ship that.
Clock it, clip it. What am I supposed to say? Clip that.
Clip that.
Clip that.
Where has this been? Because this was a lot of information and a lot of conviction to keep under wraps for 25 years. Or I can't remember when he started. So to me, this is a new thing. It almost seems like demons are feeding him this information, and it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I feel like some of this would have dribbled out, and maybe it has, and we just weren't paying attention, but it's getting just kooky.
It is kooky.
And it's almost like by him saying, I know this sounds crazy, it kind of disarms you, because you're like, well, at least you recognize it sounds crazy, because a crazy person doesn't know they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you sound crazy, you're not really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I've been told when I've said, gosh, I feel crazy. Oh, Sinclair, don't worry about it. If you think you're crazy, you're not.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. It's like it's coming out of nowhere, and it's freaky.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And it makes more sense that he's been possessed or he's been affected than it does the other way around. But in the conspiracy, based on my pastor's teaching and some things that I've been reading, and even my own conviction, it is so much easier. And this is how followings are built. It is so much easier to deal with the speck in your neighbor's eye than it is to deal with the log in your own. And that's what so much of what he's doing now. And he used to be must-see TV. And what did Tucker say now? And that's a great conversation. Think about how much time we spent on our old show talking about the things he talked about and reacting. Before Steve Deace, it was Tucker for us. But that's the thing that I am becoming very aware of, not only the log in my eye, but noticing around me that people who follow him love the specks in other people and miss the logs in their own. And it gives them something to go fix instead of dealing with their own sin and their own depravity. And if you acknowledge your depravity, then you acknowledge you actually need a savior, and he's only found in the good book, not the stuff that they're making up. And so basically he wants to be the king of his own life and say all these crazy things. And it's just, you wonder, how could somebody fail so spectacularly? Oops. Unless you read the Proverbs and you realize that's already written about in there.
Do we have logs?
I got so many logs.
You need to talk about it?
Not today.
Speak for yourself.
But do you know what I mean? I mean, does that
Yeah.
does that resonate, or is it just me? And it's okay if it's just me.
No. I think you're right. It's just weird all of a sudden, all the finger pointing and all the stakes in the ground on very weird theories, but said so confidently. It's not, I mean, there's some things in Oppenheimer, that movie, that kind of, I'm like, did that really happen? It's, no, that's evil. I will never put that in my brain. It's bleh. What?
Mm.
I don't know.
I think he's always been like this. The problem is he's now just working for himself, and he has. I think
That's a good point.
Tucker needs guardrails from the standpoint of he needs people to just be like, Tucker, come on. Which that sort of personality that makes Tucker is why he was so good at Fox and the others, but he was kind of in his own lane at Fox, and it's kind of like the person that, I don't know, like you're in a room with like a blank canvas, but you got a paintbrush and you're slinging paint everywhere. You'll occasionally get the mark, but when you do, it'll be awesome. Like with the COVID or the Hunter Biden laptop. So I think when he worked for somebody else and he was sort of like I don't want to say a cog in the machine, but he was a part of the commentary world, and it kind of kept him from going too far off the rail. But now that he's just on his own and all he answers to is himself.
Really good point.
And he's in Maine, and he's got billionaires from, I don't know, Qatar and others, or the Middle East, allegedly, that kind of fund him. And now he's got a house in Qatar. He doesn't really have anybody to answer to except himself. But also, I do think there are nefarious actors who, again, I don't know if they're part of the Muslim world or the other, or whatever, that are helping prop him up because he's being used as a useful idiot. And the Charlie Kirk conspiracy is a great example of it, because just think about how much damage Tucker and Candace have done to that narrative, because it went from a leftist killed Charlie Kirk to Israel killed Charlie Kirk, and Candace is doing like most of the heavy lifting. But then Tucker goes, well, I know for a fact that there were Egyptian planes that were actually in the plane or in the air on that day. I'm just asking questions. And the I'm just asking questions stick is cute and fun, but it does so much damage, because when you're just asking questions, like, when was the last time Tucker talked about immigration? When was the last time Tucker talked about, any sort of culture war that is important to our system and what the conservative movement is trying to achieve? Because God forbid the Democrats win in 2026, 2028, that they are going to wreak havoc and destroy America. It's all about Israel. Every episode Tucker does is about Israel, and it's about Charlie Kirk and why the government's lying to us, and it's having a third party meetup at his cabin. It's like, I don't know if it's because he's so rich he doesn't realize the actual culture war that's going on, or it's nefarious and that he's maliciously doing something, or he's being propped up by somebody and being used as a useful idiot. Whatever it is, he's not actually talking about the things that matter, like immigration, like all the things that Trump is not achieving from, he can talk about the Iran war and Israel, but that's it. There's not actually talking about any culture war issues that are important. So I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I think he's on his own, and he doesn't have anybody to answer to except the people that will watch, because you say crazy crap and you're your own media company, then people will watch. So I don't know. I think that's the main. I think he's nobody's holding him accountable anymore.
It's so subversive. And you're right. When was the last time he talked about what mattered? It's been a while. I mean, think about how well off you have to be to talk about things that don't affect us in daily life, like gas in our car and groceries in our backseat and feeding our family. Like, that doesn't exist. And this idea that we can just ask questions. Remember, the enemy of our souls comes to divide, devour, and destroy. And the Proverbs talk about always consuming knowledge, but never arriving at wisdom. Never arriving at a conclusion, like the Greeks did when Paul gave his sermon. They talk and they talk and they talk. What's new? They're talking themselves to death. It's fine to ask questions, but in our world, you have to provide actual receipts for the information you're giving. We have to say that. We have to say, on this day at this time, this happened. Here's the evidence. Gosh, it's funny with flock cameras everywhere now, and cameras like infected or all over the place. Shouldn't we be able to see what they're talking about all the time? Instead, no. It's just question after question after question and subversion after subversion instead of here's what we need to do, for example, in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, or let's not talk about Israel every other sentence. How is that going to change anything? How is that going to get people involved? No, what it actually does is it whack-a-moles people back down because they think, well, I'm not going to get involved because it's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything. And that, to me, is what's most dangerous about what he's doing, is helping people to give up because they think, well, who cares? Apathy is one of the things, along with tolerance, that happens before civilizations fall.
I think talking about questions, I mean, we ask a lot of questions on this show, but we're open to the answer being the opposite of what we think. And that's what I don't see. I think that's what's dangerous about this. They're not asking questions in a genuine way. It's an excuse to be able to throw out whatever they want to. And that tells me it's propaganda.
Very true.
I don't ever want to be like that. I mean, we say it all the time. We're going to say this and we're going to ask this question. Please, actually, I'd love to be wrong. Please prove me wrong. Because a lot of things we assume aren't great. Usually we're right, but we're open to being wrong. I just don't see that. So there's a lack of humility. There's a bravado that just makes me think this isn't genuine. And as it keeps going on, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So I don't know. I don't even listen anymore to any of them.
I don't either.
I'm kind of over it.
Well, we got about 4 minutes or 3 minutes. Do you want to talk about Darlene Graham? And I didn't watch the debate last night. I don't know if y'all did, between her and Ralph Norman, but the clip that kind of went viral is her saying 50 million people lived in South Carolina. But I didn't watch the rest of it. I don't know if y'all did. Had any thoughts?
I think she watched it all. I watched several clips of it. I honestly think that 50 million was the slip of the tongue. But if she actually thinks there are 50 million people in South Carolina, we have problems. Still, I'm not a Darlene Graham fan. What did you think? Because you watched the whole thing.
Oh, it's kind of a longer conversation. Ralph Norman, who is one of my favorite congressmen, he did not do that great. Honestly, he didn't. Whoever prepped him needs to be fired. I hate to say that because I know he knows the answers. He just seemed kind of not prepared. And I hate that because he's in it. I mean, he walks through the NDAs. He goes through the continuing resolutions. Like he knows, but it didn't really come across that way. Whoever prepped Darlene Graham, Nordone, whatever. Somebody needs to hire that person. Like if you're running, you go find out who prepped her because she was great. She was composed. Now, she had a notebook in front of her. None of it was genuine. None of it. None of it is actually her belief. But if you're just tuning in and don't know anything about either candidate, you would look at her and go, oh, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 50 million people, I'm with you. She screwed up. What really was not good, and I don't know if y'all saw this, Greta Van Susteren asked her, what's happening with China and Taiwan, is that a threat to the United States? And she said, well, national security really isn't my thing. I'm not really up on that. I don't really know, and did not answer the question. That is an issue.
Huge.
Whoever her prepper was didn't prep her on that one. She didn't have it in her notepad. And that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take a genius. You don't have to give a dissertation on the history of China and Taiwan, but even we know a basic understanding of what's happening there and why it matters to the United States. And you want to be the next U.S. Senator. So Ralph Norman, there's supposed to be another debate tonight. He needs to step it up. But Darlene, she's a robot. And I think people saw that last night.
Yeah. Fair.
All right, we'll be back with JJ Reach. We're going to talk flock cameras and the law enforcement side of the issue. We'll be back.
Right? So our Lord said, he that's faithful in little is faithful in much. So we have to be willing to actually, as people, as leaders, lead our people to think that the way that where you start with any of this is not, does it make a policeman's job easier? Does it solve crime? That's where we start with none of this. What does the Constitution of the United States and Alabama say on this issue? And if we don't start there, we will sell our people downriver.
What is the fundamental responsibility of law enforcement?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. Let me ask you two ladies a question. Who is the person or entity fundamentally responsible for your safety?
Our sheriffs? I mean, if we're talking law enforcement or our person.
No, it's
Who is the person or entity?
it'd be us and
I
Jared
mean,
and
we are,
Chris.
yeah, our families. Yeah.
You. Not the police, not the sheriff. Nope. And then here's why that's important. It's important because the head of the Alabama Sheriff's Association came out a few years ago opposed to con carry. Said the Second Amendment needed to be modified.
What is con carry for people that may not know?
Sure. We're not carrying cons around like con artists. It's constitutional carry. Right.
Okay.
So in other words, Second Amendment, we actually believe that, right? You have a right to keep and bear arms and you don't have to pay for it. Like in England back in the 1800s when they got taxed for sunlight. And so they boarded up their windows of their house. And if you were wealthy, you had one window unboarded for your reading room. Anyway, because sunlight is a gift of the government. So, or as it says in the 5th grade textbook trying to be put in Alabama schools, I read it and at Salmon Library at UH, your rights come from the government. That's a separate interview we should have about textbooks in Alabama. I got pictures. Oh yes, it's incredible. So when you see serve and protect on the side of a police car, what are they tasked with fundamentally serving and protecting? It's not me, not you. Nope. It is your liberties and freedoms. Because someone's trying to take your liberties and freedoms, your property from you, do some evil thing, and their fundamental job is to protect your and mine liberties and freedoms, right? Anything else they do should be supplemental and supportive to that one goal and that one job. I have the same responsibility as a state legislator. My fundamental job is to uphold the constitutions and protect your liberty and freedom. And in maximizing your ability to be free and full of liberty and full of self-defense and full of Fourth Amendment, all the things, you will be so well positioned to defend yourself, to protect yourself, that crime will be, it's like Patrick Henry said, 2 to 3 million people, arms locked together, we're invincible, right? So I want a strong citizenry. I want a smart citizenry. I want a citizenry that is armed to the teeth and also is compassionate and loving and kind. Because ultimately the job of law enforcement, the job of police, the job of state legislators, the job of public servants fundamentally is to be faithful to the oath that we swore. You are responsible for your safety. You are responsible for the education of your children. You are responsible, you and me. And if we don't start there and we assume that the government or some public entity is responsible for the fundamental things that God requires me to be responsible for, that's how communism is born.
So I hear and appreciate everything that you have said. And still there are people that are listening going, yeah, but okay, that sounds good. But we just want to be safe. And aren't you against safety and criminals being caught? Aren't you just not for that? Answer that person.
Sure. I'm preparing and thinking on this topic. I'm listening to the Daily Detail podcast, and it tells the story of a man who's been on death row since 1998 for double homicide. Okay. I don't feel good about that. A man who in Decatur is convicted of sexually abusing a child 5 years ago and finally gets sentenced. Right. So why is it that my father could go to school, and then when I was a kid, I still saw people go to public school with guns in the back of their truck windows, shooting after school with the school leadership? Never a situation of gun violence in school. If there was a problem, Bubba and Tommy took care of it on the playground. Right. The problem wasn't because they lacked technology or they had extra technology to keep them to know that you're being watched. Right. The problem is that when necessary, mom and daddy, they got toe up from the flow up, right? They enforced righteousness in their home and in the schools. But because we're too concerned about losing federal tax dollars, we don't want to do prayer, Jesus in the schools, discipline, whatever, because that's, so many wonderful rabbit trails we could go down. But we have to actually believe that instilling righteous and godly character in our people and our children is more important than government subsidies. And if we're not willing to address the fundamental issue of character, it doesn't matter if you put cameras everywhere. It doesn't matter if you grab the tiger by the wrong end, it's a losing proposition every time. And as Benjamin Franklin said, that's why I've been thinking and praying about this. I put it up on Facebook yesterday, right? The individual who trades freedom for security deserves neither. Mm-hmm. And the only way to have mass security, as it were, mass levels of lower and lower crime, is to have a whole bunch of citizens who will gladly open the door for Meemaw or put a bullet in a pervert. Because that has a salutary effect on society. Could you have mass surveillance like China?
Welcome back to The Right Side. And, here, perhaps we like to get into discussions that make people go, are you really going to talk about that again? Yes, because it matters. And we are thrilled right now to be joined by JJ Reach, who is running for sheriff of Jefferson County, but who also has some insights in regards to flock cameras that we may not have considered before. But first, welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity.
We're so glad you're here. Tell us, before we talk about the issue, about you and about your law enforcement career.
Sure. So I grew up in a small city just outside of Birmingham in Midfield. My grandfather was the chief of police there for 34 years. It was a great place to live. He's the reason I became a law enforcement officer. Started in 1994 with Jefferson County Sheriff's Office as a deputy. Came through the ranks. I've served as a sergeant, lieutenant, and a captain. Had the opportunity as a sergeant and doing investigations. Majority of my career was spent doing child exploitation cases. From there, as a lieutenant, I oversaw the transition where we put a deputy into all 62 schools in Jefferson County. And then lastly, as a captain, I had the pleasure of being in the jail during the COVID era, which was a lot of fun. So I retired with 30 years of experience, went back to worked for Clear PD, and doing investigations again.
Wow. Oh, my word. I have so many questions, but we will stick with what's going on today.
I guess I feel a little bit out of the loop because I'm starting to look back on some legislation, some bids. Somebody sent me the Shelby County bid for flock cameras. This goes back to, probably 4 or 5 years. 2021 is really when, if we were all paying attention, of course, that was the middle of COVID. Mm-hmm. All this stuff kind of started rolling out. Catch us up, because I think you've been on the forefront of this probably for a lot longer. Flock cameras, I hadn't heard of it till probably 6 weeks ago. And that is not a good thing. So tell us what we need to know.
So, as far as investigators do, had the opportunity to work complex felony investigations for a long time, including homicides, cold homicides. We had success in doing that. And we accomplished all that prior to having license plate readers. So again, I think the issue that has been discussed is they are discussing public safety matters. Well, we have to not allow the safety term to override taking someone's liberty. And so that's where I think the technology that is out there is available. But let me give you an example of how it can be used without it taking someone's liberty. As an example, if I want to get a search warrant on someone's cell phone, I can't pick up the phone and call Verizon or T-Mobile or AT&T. I've got to be able to articulate the reasoning for me to obtain that information. So I can get a search warrant. I can obtain that information. It can tell us the geo-tracking location, anything you can imagine off the cell phone, right? So it's the same with the LPR readers. If, in my opinion, we should have to obtain a search warrant. That way we're not violating someone's rights. Now, I know that they are considered tracking individuals, but the statute actually states if it's not constant surveillance, then it's not a violation of the Fourth Amendment. However, we don't know that they're not utilizing this information to track and surveillance. As an example, with Flock, we talk about Flock, but there's other camera systems out there as well. You have Vigilant, you have Verkada, and now you've got Alabama Power in the game.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
How?
So Alabama Power is coordinated with Flock camera systems. And so Alabama Power is going into contract with certain law enforcement officers or departments, and they are providing the Flock cameras, the use of Alabama Power poles. They also add the the 4G LTE network, and it's a cost. So that amount that they're charging is $270 per camera per month. So it's also got to look at it being a profitable gain. Just like she did the intersection with the 3 cameras, you do the math on that, that's $10,000 just for that one intersection. So how many cameras do we have in Jefferson County?
Wait, I want to stop you real
Sure.
quickly. Basically, the reason you're saying Alabama Power is in this, they front the cost. I guess they pay for the camera and the setup, and instead of having the metal poles, you're saying they're attached to the power poles.
You can utilize the Alabama
Okay,
Power poles.
but why wouldn't the police department just go buy their own instead of basically renting it from Alabama Power?
Because you get access to their equipment, their services, and their power poles.
Okay, so it's like it's like a perk. Okay,
Because how
going.
much would it be to put in your own pole with your own camera on it?
You know, each company is going to vary. And
Okay.
again, you know, it depends on if you're using Flock or Vigilant. I know, you know, certain agencies are going with the Vigilant over Flock. But again, you know, I can give you an example. Even Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is currently building their own surveillance cameras.
Great.
The bid I saw from Shelby County, and this was from 2023, 2024, I think it said it was $11,000 a unit
Okay.
per camera for the setup, for the installation, to purchase it, the monthly charge for the software, and to be able to have access to it. That's significant.
Yeah, it is.
That's a significant amount that these taxpayers are paying for. You were about to get into how many Flock cameras. And when you say Flock, do you mean Flock specifically, or do you mean just these surveillance cameras in general?
We're referencing surveillance cameras
Okay.
in general
Okay.
because, you know, we hear Flock. But unfortunately, there's numerous other companies that are involved.
Mhm.
So to try, and I even did my research before I came to try and determine how many cameras are within Jefferson County. And you can't find the numbers because you don't know which agency is using this company or this company. And
Oh, wait. So if you go to dflock.org, it just has the Flock cameras. It doesn't have
All the others.
correct.
dang it.
Okay. Before we move forward, I know that Flock started coming around in 2017-ish, or it was founded, and I know there are other cameras, but was the beginning of, we'll just put cameras on the corner, not even surveillance, just cameras on the corner to watch my building. Is that what invited the surveillance state?
You know, that's a good question. I think some of it's got to do with money. I mean, it's a profit. You know, these guys that are running these companies, and again, I get back to whether or not, you know, if as an elected official, I'm required to be a good steward of the citizens' taxpayer dollars. So if I'm paying $10,000 for one intersection, is that getting the return that the tax person should receive? So there, and again, there's other ways. Again, you know, the companies, for them just to say, trust us, we're not going to misuse it. That's a concern to me.
That's a huge concern. I mean, I think that's our biggest concern, isn't it? Is just trust us. We're fine. We've got it. But this still doesn't take into account the depravity of the human heart and the ability to, well, if I can look at you and I've got access, why wouldn't I?
Right.
We're a voyeur society anyway. We're online all day.
Mhm.
And you think that's going to stop at a camera because it's the right thing to do? How many people have that kind of restraint?
Well, and we also know that Flock hadn't been pushed yet, but we know that they are utilizing their LPRs to where if I've got a cell phone in my car, I pass by that.
Their signal trace.
That is correct. And then you turn into the little area next to it, you're going to get feeds in your Facebook where, hey, this restaurant's here, things of that nature. So again, that's more than just a license plate reader.
Tell people what signal trace is, Allison.
Well, it's basically, it creates a digital fingerprint of all of your devices, of everyone that's passing by a camera, a Flock camera in the car. It will pick up every AirPod, every smartwatch, every iPhone, and start creating a profile for people that travel in that car. So not only are you just getting a license plate, now you're getting passengers, and it just follows you around like the license plate does. But now you have specifics of who's actually in that car, who you usually travel with, where you usually go, and it's terrifying. I want to know though, because the clear is Chief Heisch. Is that?
That's Chief Heisch. Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So he put out a statement on Facebook, which I really appreciated. And I referenced it in one of my videos, basically just saying, I hear you. There's a lot of concern over what we're doing. This is how Kalira uses it. The problem I had was the very last paragraph. He said, I can only control how the department uses Flock. What Flock does with the data, I have no control over. I think that's a huge issue. But it made me go, from a law enforcement side, you don't have to speak to Kalira specifically, but what does it look like? We have a camera right outside of our studio that is paid for by the HOA. The HOA president has said he has access to all the data. The HOA people that sit on the HOA have access to it. Flock has access to the data, and the Shelby County Sheriff's Office has access to the data. That's concerning.
Very.
So what are the stop gaps in place to ensure that the HOA isn't stalking you? What does it look like from the side of the police department to have to get to this information?
Yeah. So as far as the HOA, that's news to me. And I knew that several HOAs were purchasing cameras for their neighborhoods, but I did not know that the HOA president would have access to
I mean, that
information.
is, I have not spoken directly with him. I know someone who has, who said that was his statement.
And if that's the case, that's a grave issue. It's just like in law enforcement. So I have access to NCIC, NSC, just the Criminal Justice Information System. I have to have a reason to run your driver's license. I can't just go out and start searching you. I have to have a reason to run your tag. I have to have a reason to run a criminal history. I have to document when I run a criminal history. All of this data is recorded. It should be the same with Flock. So now that some of the misuse has come out with various departments, law enforcement is scrambling to put things in place. Me personally, I believe only investigators should have access to the LPR readers. And that way, if a search warrant is needed, you obtain a search warrant to gather the information. Now, sometimes it is convenient to be able to run a tag and it pop up, or some stolen car come through and it pop up. But convenience should not outweigh the liberty of those who are not doing wrong.
So this is what we hear a lot, and it's an argument pro Flock cameras online that we've seen is, but if you're not doing anything wrong, you should just not worry about this. Can you speak to that? And I know you have, but speak to the person that's kind of going, oh, this is a bigger issue than I thought. But also that same person who would say, but I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, well, the same person's got a cell phone there that's got every bit of that information that's being tracked every day as well. So until you take the necessary steps to want to be in the right as far as, making sure you are safe and restricted from someone that can just randomly see you pass by, run your tag, have access to it, and then be able to track where you go on a daily basis. That's a grave concern. As far as being on the roadway. Now, your businesses, a private business, we'll use Walmart as an example. They have tons of cameras. They even have the facial recognition, but that's a private entity. When you're in public, you should have, I know it's public and you can be recorded, but at some point you got to have a sense, if you're in your vehicle, you're traveling, you're going here, there, yonder, that you're not being tracked or traced.
I have two questions, and I want to be fair. If you can, I'd like you to say some of the potential. We did this yesterday on the show. What are the pros of these cameras? What are the potential positive results of having these? We couldn't get to where the pros outweighed the cons, but maybe you can.
I can give you my experience with them. So, we had several cars that were broken into within a subdivision. Early morning hour, we're able to go pull up the flock system and look for cars that came through at 4 a.m. and there was only 2. So we were able to get the tag number off of one. He was a previous convictions for breaking and entering vehicles. We found him the next day. We solved the case. I've utilized it to track sex offenders. When we believe that a sex offender is not living at his registered address, and they have to register that information with us. So that's a little bit different. I can put that tag into the system and I can find out where he's going and where he's at. That's a safety issue, protecting those that can't protect themselves. And so those that are vulnerable or, making sure he's not back around kids, et cetera. So those are a couple of examples. I can tell you that, again, I go back to their requirements for law enforcement already in place. So just obtain the search warrant.
And when you say, okay, there's break-ins in the subdivision, we're going to go check. Do you just walk up to a desktop at the department and type in like a quick little password? You don't have to get a search warrant. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. You can just typing cat it in and then you can.
That's it.
That's the professional word for it.
That's exactly
right. Typing cat. Okay. So there's no search. So my second question is, what do we do about this? How do we handle this? There's a part that's coming out tomorrow. We actually have Senator Arthur Orr who's coming on tomorrow, because what Flock has come out with the backlash, they've said, okay, 30 days, that's a long time. Well, now we're only going to hold on to the data for 7 days. And in our conversation the other day, I was like, gosh, law enforcement's going to have to work really fast to get these things solved in 7 days. It makes sense though, because in Alabama and the police departments, I'm finding out, can hold on to this data for 5 years. Arthur Orr in 2021, in the middle of COVID, tried to bring a bill about that would hold it only for 30 months, which is, I think, what Georgia does. And it was shot down. They never got a vote on it. So Kay Ivey basically did her little executive order and said 5 years. That's insane. Flock may not have access to it. They're only going to have it for 7 days. So everybody chill out. But your state and the sheriff's departments and police departments are going to have access for 5 years. What do we do?
That's a great question. I can tell you that Flock hasn't changed or updated their system because it still says 30 days when I logged in this morning.
Sure. Okay, great.
So we get back to trust us. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to sell your information. We're not going to do this. But here we are.
Do we need legislation? Do we need to ban maybe where there's a federal bill that Tim Burchett has that prevents federal funding from going to be used? Because our tax dollars are funding this mass surveillance in every subdivision, city, county.
That's correct.
That's wrong. So do we need to ban public money from funding these?
That's a great question. So as an elected official, I go by what the legislature enacts, and I'll follow that either way. So, but the one thing that you mentioned is talking about, whether or not the camera system and it being retained for so long and so forth. It goes back to who's the oversight of what they're retaining?
Yes. I wrote that question down for you yesterday. Who is the oversight? Who's really watching?
And if they're selling it to the government, is the government the person to oversee what they're already receiving? So that's the question: is who's the oversight of what they're retaining and what they're doing with it?
That's terrifying.
And I don't have an answer to that.
Maybe some people smarter than us will come up with something. Is there a way we can use this correctly, or do you think I tend to fall? But I'm a black and white person. I tend to fall in no. I mean, it's against the Constitution. If you want to put up closed circuit TV like they have at Walmart, okay, maybe. I still think that's creepy. That's like CCP kind of stuff. But maybe at least you'd have to go get a warrant.
That's right.
And go through some proper potential stops.
Agree, because what people hear who are very pro and maybe think we're a little crazy for our grave concerns, to use your words. Number one, we don't know who's actually watching. But then number two, what's to say we don't turn into China? Because if we're still really a part of the World Economic Forum system and some of these things that are going on are beyond our comprehension, then that social credit score is going to be used because they're watching us all the time. And you go to get on the bus in China and you've ridden that too many times that week, you're not getting on the bus. You know what I mean? They're watching your every move. So an innocent CCTV turns into flock, turns into life control. And that's the part, taking it to its logical conclusion. And then at the end of that conclusion is, and who's actually watching?
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the name of safety and security.
Again, you have to be careful using, and again, I'm so pro law enforcement. That's what I've done my entire life.
Yes.
So don't misunderstand that. But we can't just use the term safety as a catch-all to be able to infringe on others' liberties.
Amen.
That's why I say all that I've said, well, over the past few weeks, I'm like, we could all be really safe if we all of us wore body cameras every day. The government said every morning, you got to get up and you got to attach a body camera, and they can watch everybody that might commit a crime, or it will deter you from, we could really cut down on crime.
Yeah,
but is that
easy.
what we want?
Exactly.
So it's insane. Okay. Thank you so much for being
Absolutely.
here.
My pleasure.
Keep us posted. Good luck on your race. How can people find out about your campaign, donate, follow along?
Yep. Go to my webpage. It's electreachforsheriff.com. And you can follow our Facebook page, Elect Reach for Sheriff, as well. And there's ways to donate, volunteer, help, whatever we want to do.
It's awesome.
So,
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Y'all will be back with some more montage topics, maybe hot flash news if we have time. Stick around.
And say, oh, we caught you as you were about to do that. Well, you could, sure. That also is like the mindset of like, I think it was a chief of police. He said, well, if you're against these cameras, you're probably doing something you shouldn't be doing. Well, that's like saying, you know why? I know why Allison and Beth got walls on their house. They're cooking meth. Right?
It's just sourdough, people.
That's all.
It's bass backwards. No, that's retarded. No, we have walls because we value our privacy as law-abiding citizens. And what in the world does it mean, Fourth Amendment, to be securing your persons if that you don't get the right to know that I'm going to Lowe's? It ain't none of your daggum business that I'm going to Lowe's, a pawn shop, or to Six Flags. It's none of your business. I'm a citizen. I'm a law-abiding citizen, pound sand. And if we as elected officials can't remember what it's like to be a citizen who just wants to live free or die, like, what are we doing? Like, I didn't get involved in politics so that I could file bills to move a yardstick 4 feet. I mean, no, I'm going to move the needle for freedom and liberty so that my kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids will come, hopefully, one day to my tombstone and say, Lord, thank you that this man was my dad, my granddad. Like, thank you that he stood and was willing to fight when it was hard. Do you think it was easy to be a founding father? Like, when has it ever been easy to fight for freedom? It doesn't mean that there's not crime to be dealt with. I understand that. Like Antifa, BLM, not for that, right? There's ways that law enforcement's job has been made ridiculously and just stupidly hard because people, it's like the whole Carrington, whatever that woman who clotheslines Sophie Cunningham or whatever. It's like white privilege. Like, no, it's not. You're a person who lacks character and you deserve what you get.
So this is This
Anyway.
is treating the symptom, not the disease. This is another instance of government thinking they are going to solve this the right way when really it's a culture heart issue. I'm curious though, because on the heels of saying that, I found Shelby County's bids, well, their bid yesterday for surveillance cameras. This actually started in 2024. I had no idea. Signed by our county manager. It has the cost per unit, their monthly payment. It has everything in there. I'm still kind of collecting information on that.
Me too.
Our tax dollars are paying for
Mhm.
our warrantless surveillance.
So that means
Is this legal?
That means we can stop it.
Okay, so is this where we do need normally I'm for less government. Do we need government intervention? Do we need Alabama to step in and do something about this? Because it seems like our county managers, our commissions, our city councils, our sheriffs, not all, but are kind of doubling down on this.
Well, as a side note, I'm glad you brought that up, but it's so bad that LAPD, as in California, not as in LA, as in lower Alabama, but as in Los Angeles, they just canceled their contract with Flock.
So what are we doing here?
So
in Alabama?
maybe we should follow California's conservative example.
Wow.
So the answer to, okay, here's part of what needs to be understood in the optics of things. Okay. We have a gas tax out of nowhere, real quick, down people's throats. We have a PSC bill, real quick, down people's throats, right? We have Flock cameras that seem to be like the second movie in Lord of the Rings, the two towers, where they're riding on their little horses or whatever to take refuge in Helm's Deep. And so the dwarf is talking. He is like, there's this ridiculous proposition that the women dwarfs look just like the men dwarfs. And he's like, it's the beard, right? And he's like, which has of course led to the ridiculous idea that dwarves just spring out of holes in the ground, right? As opposed to regular propagation. So Flock cameras, they seem to spring out of holes in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody sees them put them up. Nobody sees a flock installation crew. They just spring out of holes in the ground. So whether it's legislation that's controversial, whether it's things that touch our Fourth Amendment basic, how you do things matter. Doesn't mean that there wasn't a conversation needed to be had about our roads needing to be fixed. Doesn't mean there's not a conversation to be had about PSC commissioners or whatever. Doesn't mean there's not a conversation to be had about cameras. But the way you start that conversation is not by asking for forgiveness. The way you start that conversation is not by signing, documents that you agree to destroy documents before they go public. Right? Hello, was it Bessemer or whatever?
Whoa, I haven't heard that one.
Oh, yeah, it was all over the news. And it got brought out because it was a FOIA or whatever, where the city council, I believe it was in Bessemer, they agreed to destroy documents with the developer of what was the data center. But still, the point being is that not within Flock cameras, but data center, or people that sign NDAs and then elected officials and then lie to their people. We don't know about X, Y, or Z. Right. So my point being is that it doesn't mean that there's not conversations to be had about needs. Right. But as elected officials, you don't run roughshod over your people.
Mm-hmm.
They're our neighbors, our family, our friends. They're FUBU, right? They're for us, by us, for crying out loud. So you start with, hey, not Flock cameras. We'll just get a bunch in. Maybe we'll back off a little bit, like Flock said. We'll go from 30 to 7 days now. No, you start with, hey, here's the problem. Why don't have a town hall and talk about it?
Right.
But instead, we just assume, no, the answer is just run roughshod over people, and then you just get over it.
Gaslight them when they disagree or have questions.
That's not how you honor your neighbor. It's very dishonoring, and people have a right to be mad about it. I mean, I'm a husband, father, and citizen before I'm a state rep. I'm mad about it. If nothing else, just because you feel disrespected on something that's so near and dear to what you view to be an American. So let's not be afraid of having conversations with our people, like data centers. Okay, I'm not all against data centers, but if there's conversations to be had about water, power, noise pollution, location, placement, Great revenue stream, great. But let's have the conversation with our people and say, look, here's the positives, here's the negatives. What are your concerns? How can we address them?
Yep.
That's right.
That's how you honor your neighbor, by having a conversation with them. You don't run over people. It's just bad. Not only is it bad governance, it's just rude.
It's true. And hello, welcome back. Are your minds blown? Do you think flock cameras are a thing? What is your opinion?
Do we have any texts or you want to read those?
We can if you want to.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good.
If y'all want to comment or
Please.
text into the show, you can comment on the live stream you're watching on, or text into 833-687-4448. Ian from Hartsel earlier in the show said JP wins today with the loin girder comment. Thank you. He also said, I use Caged Elite Creatine, 10 milligrams every morning. I feel a lot
10?
better. Yeah, I feel a lot better in my branicle.
Ooh.
Wait, who is that? This
Ian.
Ian from Hartsel.
Ian.
Our
Caged,
our friend Ian.
Caged with a K.
Oh,
Oh,
that
Chris
must
used
be
Branicle
serious.
this weekend too, Allison. Good job.
Oh, Branicle, Scupsy the Foo-Foo, it's all catching on. Okay, Caged with a K, Elite.
Hold on, I'm going to look it up while you're doing your hot flash. Well,
Okay.
okay, keep going. What else we got, sir?
Brad from Crimestone said, first he said, our Sunday morning sermon this week was, quote, a time to mock. The time is now. And Maine, I'm looking at you, talking about the post they made.
Yep.
He said, I prefer Beeson's Liggity Bigot.
Oh, forgot about Liggity Bigot.
Over that one.
He also used to say LGBTQ 666, which I use often too.
It's funny.
Beeson.
It's funny, but it's not.
He also said,
Jason.
I was expecting the Jordan, quote, stop it, get some help clip to follow the Carlson clip. Nuclear weapons may be demonic, but not the way he means.
Well said.
We got several here from Noah Webster on the YouTube. Said, I'm here late. How many minutes into the show was it before we got in? Allison.
About 8 minutes,
Yeah, it wasn't
Noah.
very long.
Today didn't take much.
Noah. Hi.
He also said, wait, go ahead.
Well, his picture, his little that's so sophisticated, Noah.
So fancy.
He said, no wonder Alabama Power can claim to have frozen your quote rates. They are collecting tax dollars by billing the cops.
He said it.
That's Noah Webster 141.
That's pretty good.
He also said the Terminator drones will not be programmed to hurt anyone. They will be programmed to destroy your various digital electronics, phone, watch, fitness ring. You are unfortunately collateral damage.
Have y'all seen that? That they are now buying these drones to surveil, and that's exact that where was it? Hold on. Hot flash news.
Which is why we took that
There it is.
conversation
There
with
it is.
JJ to its logical conclusion. Nothing's ever innocent. Ever.
Where is it?
Ever.
He also said, last one, is it a Brave New World? Need another hit of Soma?
Ooh, what's Soma? What's Soma?
I don't know.
Like William
I was wondering
Sonoma,
if that was a reference.
Like
Wine,
Soma?
Soma
Like
County.
Summa coffee. You need
I
another
need
hit
some
of
O coffee.
Oh,
I
need
put
another hit of
some O.
You think it?
Soma O.
Soma.
It's not shoulda. It's
Soma.
Prada. No.
Oh.
What was our word?
Oh.
Why do I keep forgetting this?
Spoda.
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 Okay. This is what Noah Webster 1418 was talking about. Over 1,000 as of February, okay? More than 1,000 law enforcement and public safety agencies have received waivers from the FAA to operate autonomous surveillance drones as part of so-called drone as first responder programs. You'll surely die.
Well,
He also says Soma is the passive drug in the book Brave New World.
oh, I need to go back and read that. Okay.
We just showed how uneducated we were.
Yeah.
Is there a movie
Thank you
of
for
it?
being so educated. I will add that to my stack.
Published in 1932, Brave New World is a classic dystopian novel set in a futuristic world state centered around London in AD 2050 or 2540.
I'm so uncultured.
It's another 500 some years into the future.
Uncultured swine.
It's a There are several that we had to read in, I don't know, 10th or 11th grade. And you read it and you're like, why am I reading this? And now you go, oh, need to go back and reread that.
The story portrays a pacified, engineered society driven by consumerism, artificial reproduction, and the bliss-inducing drug soma, where individuality is systematically erased.
Mm.
I felt the same way about Animal Farm, by the way, when I was in 7th grade, and I was like, dude, this is retarded.
Yeah, so weird.
And then I look back and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, those are 1984 Brave New World. I really liked Brave New World. It was 1984 that I didn't love in Animal Farm. But they're weird and they're accurate.
That was kind of my first education on communism. Animal Farm.
Did anybody see the Animal Farm movie? Was it as bad as they said?
I don't know.
Like as woke?
We'll have to I don't know. I volunteer you I'm going to volunteer you to watch it.
You know what? We have to watch tonight.
What are we watching?
Wolves in White Coats. We have to watch that.
Excuse me while this goes on my hands.
Admiral Dr. Brian Christine's coming on the show tomorrow, and he's fancy pants.
Okay, wolves,
gold stars,
and white coats. All right, where can I stream that?
At the HHS place.
Okay, all right.
I'll find it. I'll send it to you.
Thank
you.
you.
It's on the YouTubes.
I'm excited to have something to preview. We're professional.
It's a 12-minute short form documentary on release date. Oh, it's already out. Yeah. I'm trying to see where you can watch it. I assume you go to.
It's about COVID, right?
No.
Wolves in White Coats is the report they did about insurance billing. We did the story actually when Abs wasn't here. With
the
insurance billing,
transgender
with the transgender mutilation surgeries.
Oh my word. Okay.
That's what Brian's coming on to talk about tomorrow.
The over-referring.
Yes.
surgery.
And how all these doctors need to be prosecuted for lying and mutilating these children, and how they changed the codes on insurance. They could make a ton of money.
Okay.
I forgot you weren't here for that.
Well, I'm watching it this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's all the comments.
Thank you, everybody, for your comments.
Okay.
Flashing hot news.
Okay.
Is it time?
It is.
Excuse me.
I still want to know, do you think she knows we do this every week?
No. I hope Gina didn't tell her.
They should have brought the high stepper into that Auburn football room yesterday. She would have really gotten them crunk.
She would have gotten them crunk, darling.
With her rendition of the fight song.
At least she could try to play some of the fight song. She remembered some of the notes. What you got there?
All right. President Trump is reviving the Keystone XL pipeline.
What?
And is pausing 50% tariffs on Canada for 3 days pending a deal. I have paused the 50% tariffs against Canada. It's huge.
I have paused the 50 day. Oh, how long?
50% tariffs.
50% tariffs.
That were scheduled to kick in tomorrow morning for a 3-day period based on the fact that Canada and USA, subject to the finalization of documents, that we have a deal. The great Keystone XL pipeline, long ago killed by sleepy Joe Biden, may be awoken from the grave. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Maybe that's the sound you're thinking of.
I love that sound.
Where did that come from?
That's always been on there.
Why have we never used it?
JP, I thought you liked us. That's my favorite. JP!
Is that all one thing, or are you hitting multiple buttons?
I'm hitting multiple.
Which can be goats, apparently. They can make that sound. Did you know that?
Yes. Yeah. That was Phil and I's panicking button.
That's pretty good.
JP.
Why you
Gosh,
go
I
tell
thought
us
we
about
were
that before?
Right.
Sorry.
Okay,
Didn't mean
well,
to- didn't mean to
tomorrow I
gatekeep.
expect you. I expect those. Some of those sounds.
I expect you.
I expect you to use it. You're supposed to use it tomorrow.
You know what button we haven't used in a while?
things.
Oh boy. We're going to use that with Trish Crane on Friday.
Oh, she might be besties.
I
with
think we're
Becky
going
Pringle.
to be besties though with her.
Trish, okay. Trish
I like
Crane
Trish.
is us for the left, okay? But she has always been so kind to me, and we just, we pick up where we agree on what we can agree upon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing. But I think I really
She's gonna
like
be
her.
really good.
Okay.
Okay, so Keystone Pipeline. Is this because we can't get the Strait of Gays open? The Gays of Hormuz?
The case of Hormuz. Yeah, probably. It's all connected.
So
we
we're-
didn't even have a third cup of coffee. We're just like this today. Go ahead.
What happened? All right, this is
I
another
want to call it Strait of Hormel. Like Hormel meats
with or without beans.
without
Chili.
beans.
Okay.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
That's not very nice to call Mel that.
Oh.
That's the worst name for a whore ever. Of course, a guest walks in.
Our guest walked in at
Okay.
the worst time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. In other Donald Trump news, this is kind of
What?
All right, this is a Truth Social he put out. Based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, I am not happy with the fact that the United States has long ago agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea. These exercises are not only costly, with much of the cost paid by the United States, but send a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile to a country that, as long as Donald J. Trump has been president, has been unthreatening and respectful.
I'm sorry.
What?
What?
Stop it. Get some help.
I got nothing. They're North Korea. I mean, have you not read? I forget what there's a book called Nothing to Envy. There's the other awesome girl who's written books and who speaks everywhere that talks about her fleeing from North Korea. Do we not know who they are? They're still who they are. They don't change. What in the world what is he saying?
My very good friend, I don't know. It's weird. And he's so good at these negotiations. He's not a stupid man, but that's just a weird, I don't know what he's going to do with this. I don't know how aligning yourself with North Korea and abandoning one of our good allies seemingly in South Korea is a smart move. But
Yeah, I don't
All
know.
right.
I got nothing.
All right. Okay.
okay, moving on.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all are going to like this one. It's a little game.
Okay.
Y'all are going to rank the top 5 most arrests by college football teams since 2000.
Oh, it's
Penn
gonna be
State.
Easy. No, I already know.
Florida State.
Georgia.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's number 1? Oh, let's just go with the top 5.
Okay.
Can you give us like jumble and throw all the teams out there and we rank them, or do we just have to randomly guess the teams?
You have to randomly guess. What's the number 1 most arrests since 2000?
It's not Georgia, is it?
Georgia is number 10.
Huh. Probably because it didn't start till the late 2.
All right. Alabama.
Alabama's number 4.
Okay. All right. FSU.
Well, they're number 3.
Florida.
Okay.
Say that again.
Florida.
Florida's number 1.
Wow.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. We've got to get. Wait, what you said was 4?
We've had 1, 3, and 4.
1, 3, and 4, not 2.
This
2 or
is
5.
funny.
All right.
Keep going in Florida. The top 3
Florida
are
State.
Miami.
Oh, Miami.
Is that 2?
Number 1, Florida, with 539 players arrested. Miami,
Number 2.
454.
Okay.
Florida State with 436. Alabama, number 4 with 402. Who's number 5?
Auburn.
No.
Is it an expected one? Or
Is it in the South or is it somewhere else in the
No.
country that we don't want to live in? What letter is it in?
Is it USC?
No. Ohio State.
Oh, I should have guessed that. Buckeyes.
Number 6, LSU. Number 7, Clemson.
That's surprising.
Number 8, Tennessee.
Go Vols.
9, Auburn. 10, Georgia.
Oh,
Basically,
great. SEC.
it's all SEC teams in the top 10, pretty much. Well, then you go Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, South Carolina.
They're all Southern.
Now, if we do driving arrest, Georgia would be number 1.
This is true. Okay.
I real quickly want to play the clip of Darlene. Okay. I'm just going to hold it up. You ready? I'm going to hold it up to the... We're going to do this old school. This is at the debate last night.
On the national security question as well, Senator, are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? If so, why?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States? And if so, why or how?
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security. So, but I do support the military.
And then she went on to talk about it for a minute. That was not good.
Well, at least she supports the military.
But I do support the military.
Oh yeah, she talks about her brother serving in the military for 33 years.
That's how she ended the question. All right, last thing, kind of a little bit of trivia. Do y'all know why Muslims hate dogs?
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Do I get to say or
Yeah,
want
you
to-
do.
Because they believe that dogs can see demons and sense demons.
I did not know that. I just thought maybe, I don't know what I thought, but this is why. At night, Muhammad would wait for the angel Gabriel to visit him. The first night, the angel didn't show, and he heard a dog bark, so he assumed it was the dog's fault. Later, when he met the angel, okay, I'm getting kooky, the angel told him that he doesn't enter a home with a dog, so Muhammad ordered all the dogs killed. The reason dogs can sense demons, and the demon was impersonating the angel Gabriel.
I did not know that.
So go buy some pigs and dogs.
I've got plenty. No pigs, plenty of dogs.
Did y'all see the guy from Alabama that was paying a truck driver to drive up to Minnesota and have a wreck with like 1,000 pigs?
Now that's thinking outside the box.
He raised $5,000 so he could hire this truck driver to, accidentally had a wreck with these pigs.
What happened?
And really, well, I didn't follow up.
Well, maybe we can find out tomorrow.
I need to find out, but I mean, he just is sitting on his front porch giggling. Thought it
Oh
was
my
great.
gosh. What can we hatch like that?
I don't know, but someday for the Muslim Minute, I want to play that clip of the Muslim couple and their child who are passing just this cute little old man walking his dog and what they yell and how they treat him. It coming to a city near you. But luckily they didn't go after the man because the dog's a demon.
Because that makes sense.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. That's some great news, Allison Sinclair.
Also, the first unit of Ferrari's ugly electric car sold for $40 million.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah, it's not that ugly. It's prettier than the Cybertruck.
The front of it kind of looks like the front of a Mustang.
$40 million.
I can't.
Stupid.
You want some quick this or that questions?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there was a fox found with rabies in Alabama. So watch out.
Okay.
Don't go pet a fox if you ever want to. Okay, pizza or burgers?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question.
God,
Pizza.
JP.
Go on,
Pizza or burgers? I mean, burgers like a cheeseburger.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna break my husband's heart. A burger. He could eat pizza every day. I could eat cheeseburgers every day, but almost pizza every day.
Yeah, that's tough, but I'm going burger.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Depends.
Vanilla bean. Tillamook.
Chocolate ice cream, vanilla cake.
I love you, Allison.
All right, we'll do one more. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Waffles. Pancakes are
Pancakes are great.
I'm
They're
going-
made out of the same stuff as waffles.
no, they're slimy. You need the holes to make it crispy.
Now the crispy part slathered in butter. Now that's a home run.
Have you ever had butter on your Pop-Tart?
So freaking good. If you haven't, then I think you should. We're gonna play that one day on the show.
You should. Are you pancakes or waffles?
I love them both. I'd probably give the slight edge to pancakes, though.
Whipped cream on them. It's extra good.
I mean, Waffle House waffles are amazing, though.
They are.
Y'all, tomorrow's a big day, big deal. We have Senator Arthur Orr on, who's going to talk about his flock camera data collection and what would you call it? How long? What's like a
How long
repository?
they can yeah. How long they can keep it.
Yep, this happened 5 years ago. We're just really late to the game. He's going to talk us through what happened then. And then we have Admiral Brian Christine on, who is going to talk to us about him and JD Vance and RFK Jr.'s. They have an investigation with the DOJ into a lot of doctors across the country for basically child abuse and mutilation. It's criminal what they're doing. So we'll have him. Then on Friday, Trish Crane with the Alabama proficiency numbers. I need to go back to school. And Caitlin Bussey. We got a lot to do. So y'all rest up tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.